Hi there, I'm volunteering at a corona testing station in Germany and I want to do a quick show around, so let's go! So, coming in, you will come to my desk. I will ask you about insurance card, telephone number, general practitioner, and which will all be passed on to the doctor, which is there, who will ask about symptoms, about previous diseases, about contact to a positive tested patient, and then we will proceed to the throat swab, which is quick and painful. It's not that bad, but still some people don't like it. And which will then be passed to the box, which will go to the lab, and then within 2 days you have your result and you're free to go. So the last step of the process is that the patient will be informed by the public health department, the Gesundheitsamt, if their test is positive or not. So we highly encourage you to get into volunteering yourself and check our recommended pages for volunteering opportunities in your country. And well, to stay safe.
It's crazy to think that just a few months ago, we were all entering into a new decade full of hopes and dreams for 2020. Sadly, now we are all going through a really difficult and delicate time. Everyone's routine has been changed dramatically, and I just want to remind you that it's okay not to feel okay all the time. During the last weeks, we have all been hit with the anxiety of a quickly changing world. And some days are better than others. Some days you feel hopeful, other days we will feel sad and anxious. This is completely normal. It's a new reality for us. I'm missing so many and simple things that I had for granted before, like walking more than 100 steps a day, being with and actually hug my family and friends, going to the beach and watch the sunset, basically being free to do whatever I wanted to. Even though it's been a struggle, I'm thankful for such strict restrictions. This is our way to contribute for this battle. Staying home right now. We are here sitting at home. Many professionals are putting themselves at a really high risk during this battle to help others. The amount of health professionals who have got sick, and especially those who have died, truly breaks my heart. I just want to say thank you to everyone who's in the front lines. You are true heroes. And remember, we are not stuck at home, we are safe at home.
Hello guys! The quarantine has given me so much time to think. This situation is difficult for everybody. We are scared, we are lost, we cannot see the end of it. It's true. But what are we asked to do? We are asked to stay home in order to protect ourselves and the people we love. It's not much, right? At the end, if you think about it, our grandparents were asked to fight in the war, and they did it. So I think we can stay home. My thought goes to the people who are affected by other diseases. They should go to the hospital to get their life-saving treatment, but they can't, because it would be too risky for them. My thought goes to the people who are not getting any salary, because they cannot work due to the lockdown. And I ask myself, how are they gonna survive without money? Also, I think about the old people who would need the help of others, but they cannot be reached by anybody. Being not part of any of these categories, I understood that we should be thankful for our everyday life, and we should use this time in order to improve ourselves, do what we have always postponed, and also support each other. We should stay home in order to help somehow the wonderful people who are fighting in the front line against this pandemic. I hope you guys are safe. Last but not least, I think about the victims of domestic violence. They are locked in a house with their executioners without any way out.
This whole corona situation, it seems weird to me. Like, really, to be honest with you, it's something that we have never lived, and it makes you feel sad, like every day, you know. I don't know. To begin with, I remember in the get-go we didn't know what to do, if we will have a class next week, if what's happening in China, then what's happening in Italy, then I don't know. I was getting confused. I couldn't keep up with any of the information. It seemed weird. They told us to start wearing masks. The only thing I had in the beginning was this. I was basically going, I don't know, to supermarket with it. No gloves, nothing. Nobody had. It was so hard to buy any of those things. Then I remember Christina told us that her roommate has some kind of masks left, so we kind of distributed it to all students who are still here in Czech Republic. Like those, they are paper masks. It's like, it's gone, that's it. And then I remember only three weeks after the whole thing started, Nick's mom sent us like regular masks, which we use now every day when we go, I don't know, to the supermarket or go exercise or so on and so forth. I don't know, for me, not even having the materials to survive in this, let's say, country, or, you know. And another story that I would like to share was a friend of mine. He's in Greece, he studies there, and his mom had received chemotherapy less than a month ago, breast cancer, and they are living in the same place. And so his dad got a colic pain, something related to renal stone. Him having to drive his dad to the hospital, and having the mom with cancer, like 1 month ago, basically being treated, you know, at the same place. He texted me and he was like, Martha, what should I do? Like, what should we do now? We don't even have masks. They didn't know what his dad have. They were supposed to go to the hospitals during this time, you know, where everybody is supposed not to go to the hospital because of Corona situation. And I told him, I don't know, can you convince your mom staying in another room? But, you know, this is clashes, you know, with the feeling of freedom and things like this. This is so controversial in its nature. In the end, he would drive his dad and he would stay in the car, and the dad would wear the mask. They only had one mask for the whole family, and then they would take the mask and boil it in water and reuse it, you know. That was, I don't know, that was striking for me. I felt bad. I was trying to keep contact and just tell him, you know, relax, and try to explain him what a renal colic is. And my parents, I stayed in Czech Republic because they are over 60 years old. I didn't want to travel there. I didn't want to expose them in risk. And it was hard for me convincing them that this is the reason why I don't want to come there. Because we will be in quarantine for 14 days, all three of us. Somebody else has to bring us, I don't know, supermarket, food at home. This for me seemed an overkill. And also, Nick stayed here. I couldn't just leave and tell him, okay, stay, you know. How can a person stay for like 2 months alone in a house? This is impossible. I don't know. Last but not least, actually, I remember I was texting or calling every day with Miss Kuntsova, Vice Dean or new Vice Dean of our faculty, and we were talking about how students, if they're, let's say, happy with whatever teachers they're giving them, or what can we do, what do we have to improve, and so on and so forth. And let's say after 2 weeks, I realized that we have never talked about how we are, how we feel. And then I remember I sent her an email, maybe it was 11 in the evening, 12, and I asked her, like, how are you? though. We never talked about this. Are you okay? How are you doing? How is your family? And then the next day she thanked me. She told me, I guess we have the same concerns. Some of them, they have no job because everybody's closed. But we kind of try to support each other and connect better, And I thought that's what everybody's trying to do, This is what all families, that's what all people are doing. And I don't know for how long we'll be able to withstand this, but we don't have another choice.
First time I noticed that something was out of the ordinary is, I guess, when my mom started calling me every day. And we talk regularly, but now she really has been calling me every day. And when I wouldn't answer, she would call me again, and she was always sounding worried. And first you kind of just brush it off and you say, oh, it's just your mom being worried, but then this feeling of unease kind of creeps up to you, and you understand that something is happening and people are worried. And then I guess a week later we went for a run with Marta a bit outside of Pilsen, and we didn't have masks, just like regular handkerchiefs or something on our faces. And it's just this feeling you barely see people outside, and but you feel like you're doing something illegal, and there's this post-apocalyptic atmosphere, as if the air is poison and there is a nuclear fallout outside, and you just get this fight or flight response. And I don't know, it's just a really weird feeling that we experience. Another story that that made me think a lot is a thing that I read on Facebook, and it was about a guy. So somebody shared a picture in the marketplace, in Pilsner marketplace, of a guy in a supermarket not wearing a mask, and it was actually a picture taken in Brno, and there were comments underneath like, look, if you want to see a face of irresponsible asshole, then look at this guy. And of course there are people who don't take the preventive measures seriously, and they have to be warned. But I was just thinking, this is so radical. Like, this picture made rounds around the internet, and it came from Brno and had been shared countless times, and now people are just enraged about this person. And it's so easy how people, I guess, can turn good intentions into something negative and almost hate. It made me think a lot about how people react in these situations. And then, of course, it's the endless news cycle that we're exposed to, and it's important to watch the news, and we seek out new information because everybody's closed up in his space, and we want to know what's going on. But then there was this report about Italy, where they didn't have space in crematoria to dispose of dead bodies, and it just was really heavy. I found it so unreal that it's not about having enough beds to treat people, it's not about having place in hospitals, but it was really, they didn't have space for the dead bodies. And I could never imagine something like this happening at our doorstep. You will always think like wars and disasters, they're happening somewhere far away, but this is literally there. Yeah, just a very sad image, I guess.
I know, it's a difficult time for everybody, but we have to stay optimistic. You need to be caught, but you don't have to panic. No matter what, we all need to work together. and you should take this as an opportunity to spend quality time with your family. We should take this as a chance to share our help and to be kind to the others, because the sun will rise again. And stay safe and stay home.
Everything will be alright.
Vai ficar tudo bem.
Alles wird in Ordnung sein.
Hola, paano ka lang? Todo va a ir bien.
Tout va bien se passer.
Все будет хорошо.
Tutto andrà bene.
Allt kommer att bli bra.